The BBC starts off their article, UFOs or UAPs, what's the difference, and why are people talking about them, with this line.
Quote,
UFOs exist, but can experts explain where they come from or who's flying them?
Unquote.
Yes, UFOs exist. Whether aliens are flying them is another matter altogether. When you hear the term unidentified flying object, or UFO, you might immediately think of flying saucers and extraterrestrial beings. However, as the name suggests, a UFO is simply an object in the sky that cannot be identified. When discussing unexplained objects in the sky, government officials prefer to call them UAP, which stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. UAP is meant to more accurately encompass the fact that many unexplained sightings in the sky have natural explanations. For instance, the planet Venus and lenticular clouds are often mistaken for UFOs. While many UAP sightings have innocent explanations, some remain a complete mystery. The Pentagon has released footage of videos taken by U.S. military personnel that currently have no explanation. In response to these sightings, the U.S. government has established the All-domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO or AARO, within the United States Office of the Secretary of Defense. This office investigates UAP reports. The purpose of AARO is to synchronize efforts across the Department of Defense and with other U.S. agencies to detect and identify unexplained objects around military installations and areas of operation. Is it possible that any of the objects being reported to AARO are being flown by extraterrestrials? According to the BBC,
quote,
officials have told U.S. media that it has found no evidence of alien activity, but cannot rule it out. The review of 120 incidents is expected to conclude that U.S. technology was not involved in most cases. But beyond that, the report will take no clear view about what the objects might be, officials said.
Unquote.
Former President Barack Obama has been quoted as saying,
quote,
we can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. They did not have an easily explainable pattern.
Unquote.
NASA Administrator Bill Nelson told CNN Business,
quote,
we don't know if it's extraterrestrial. We don't know if it's an enemy. We don't know if it's an optical phenomenon.
Unquote.
While officials aren't ruling out the possibility of aliens, the BBC reports that many in the US government seem to be more concerned about potential threats from China and Russia than visitors from other star systems. Harvard professor Avi Loeb thinks UAP could be aliens, according to an opinion piece he wrote for Scientific American in 2021.
Quote,
if UAP originated from China or Russia and were a national security risk, their existence would have never been revealed to the public. Hence, it is reasonable to conclude that the US government believes that some of these objects are not human in origin. This leaves two possibilities. Either UAP are natural terrestrial phenomena, or they are extraterrestrial in origin.
Unquote.
I think Loeb makes a good point. Why has the US government made so much information on UAPs public? If government officials think they are foreign surveillance devices, why would they signal their befuddlement over the nature of these objects to the enemy? Surely the government would refrain from revealing their lack of knowledge about the spying capabilities of countries like China and Russia. Unless, of course, this is a ploy to mislead the enemy, and they know far more than they let on. Avi Loeb is best known for his claim that Oumuamua could be a space probe sent to the vicinity of Earth by an advanced alien civilization. Oumuamua is an object that was first spotted on October 19, 2017 by astronomers using the Pan-STARRS telescope in Hawaii. It was discovered approximately 40 days after it passed its closest point to the Sun. According to Loeb, the interstellar object Oumuamua could potentially be of artificial origin due to its distinct shape, luminosity, and anomalous orbit, as well as the absence of any evidence of outgassing or debris along its trajectory. These characteristics make it,
quote,
statistically different by a large margin from all other objects catalogued by humanity.
unquote.
Loeb suggests that Oumuamua's peculiar acceleration could also be a sign that it is a space probe. He explains his ideas in depth in his book, Extraterrestrial, the First Sign of Intelligent Life Beyond Earth. I have a link to this book in the description. In his opinion piece in Scientific American, Loeb speculates that Oumuamua could have been sent,
quote,
to collect data from the habitable region near Earth. One might even wonder whether Oumuamua might have been retrieving data from probes that were already sprinkled on Earth at an earlier time.
unquote.
Could UAP be these probes that were sprinkled on Earth at an earlier time? Loeb concedes that the notion of UAP being extraterrestrial in origin is highly speculative. Still, it is not entirely implausible that an advanced alien civilization may be observing us. It is what we would do if we possessed the capability. However, there is a significant issue that needs to be addressed. Why would aliens use vehicles or probes that are easily detectable? Surely an advanced civilization that has mastered interstellar travel has also mastered miniaturization. Why risk crashes or shoot-downs and having their ships or probes hauled away to Area 51? If they wanted to watch us without us watching them, they could park a mothership somewhere we couldn't easily detect it and send a bunch of tiny probes to monitor us with little risk of discovery. Since aliens don't have to be seen, if some UAP are indeed aliens, then they must want to be seen. On July 17, 1957, at 4:10 in the morning, a U.S. Air Force RB-47 aircraft, equipped with sophisticated electronic intelligence gear, encountered something strange over the southern United States. One of the officers detected a nod signal on the radar screen. A few minutes later, an intense blue light appeared and changed course suddenly before disappearing. The pilot observed a huge light and suspected it was attached to something even bigger. The crew alerted the Duncanville, Texas Air Force Ground Radar Station, which tracked one UFO while the other disappeared. At 4:50, radar showed the UFO abruptly stopping as the RB-47 passed under it, and seconds later, it was gone. If extraterrestrials were involved in this and similar incidents, they may have been assessing our capabilities. The thought that aliens have been evaluating our capabilities for decades is unsettling. This raises the question of why they would do so and whether they would consider a civilization potentially thousands of years behind theirs to be such a threat that they would continually test our military prowess. Of course, it's also possible that these UAP could be self-replicating craft, so-called von Neumann probes, sent by a long-dead civilization. Air Force veteran and former intelligence official David Grusch has turned over classified information to Congress relating to an alleged secret program that he says has craft of,
quote,
non-human origin,
unquote,
and bodies of the pilots. He claims the government has been reverse engineering,
quote,
non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed. Grusch admits that he never saw anything.
quote,
People started to confide in me, approach me. I have plenty of senior, former intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided in me that they were part of a program.
unquote.
For now, we don't know anything about who these people are. Did they directly work on vehicles, or like a game of telephone, did someone else tell them about the craft? On Twitter, UFO debunker Mike West asked,
Quote.
"What if the Pentagon's excessive secrecy has created an environment in which rumors can grow?"
Unquote.
David Grusch also claims that,
Quote.
"There is a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the US populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral."
Unquote.
Until we are presented with solid evidence, we have to consider the possibility that Grusch's claims are either wittingly or unwittingly part of that disinformation campaign.
Thanks for watching. Check the description for links, and don't forget to like and subscribe.